It's almost an undeniable fact that every single generation brings its own set of benefits and problems to the workplace. A lot of the videos that I've made recently have been focused around people in my generation. That's who my target audience is because it's the people who I understand. It's the people who are living the same experience as me. In a lot of the videos that I've made though, I've been told in the comment section by a lot of what seems to be older people that our generation is just lazy. We don't want to work full time, we don't have the effort to work hard for things. But here's the thing, right? What a lot of young people in this generation seem to expect from the workplace is very different to perhaps what their parents may have expected and their parents before them. Now, undeniably, every generation brings its own set of societal changes. This is almost a guarantee. Living standards change, expectations change, and this is almost to be expected. Now, it seems to also be a trend that every generation seems to look on the next generation as naive, perhaps arrogant and stupid. And I've seen a lot of older people, especially in the comments of my videos, saying the same thing. Young people are lazy, they're uneducated, they don't care. Now, here's the thing. I think the answer is a little bit of both. When we ask, are young people ruining the workplace? The answer in some ways may be yes. The answer in some ways is no. The reason why it may be no is something which needs explaining more, because that is a more complex end of the scale. I think the reason why a lot of young people work in a different way is because they don't want the same things. You see, when we were growing up as a generation, the idea of owning a property and moving out and having a nice car was for a lot of people something that they see as being off the table. And I know that there are ways to make it work if you want to work 50, 60 hours or if you split with a partner. But here's the thing, right? Most people either don't want to make the sacrifice, which you may argue is laziness, or simply just don't have the means or effort to. So, because of that, what a lot of people in this generation are working towards seems to be different. You know, people have seen their parents slaving away to pay off the mortgage and to finance the car, and they see the unhappiness and the misery it brings. People may have memories of being in, daycare whilst their parents were at work all the time, and they may not want the same for themselves, they may not want the same for their children. And a lot of people these days seem to have a very different scope on what the work should be, on what work should be. Now, again, it's almost guaranteed that work is a contract. It's a contract between your employer and your employee. The employer expects the employee to provide work, whether that be labour or skills, and in return, they are compensated financially. The balance needs to work for both ends of people. Perhaps one person benefits more than the other. I would say it's almost a guarantee and should be an expectation that the employer, will benefit more. They have gone to the effort of creating a company and establishing it, so they should expect more from what they do. With that being said, there should be a fair deal for both parties involved. And now it seems that young people are expecting more from the workplace. People don't want to spend all of their life in work. We're seeing this actually affect work and people's expectations in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of people are turning to alternative life paths. Some people are going down the route of entrepreneurship, like myself, or entrepreneurism, or whatever you'd call it. Some people are actually opting to do online work. You know, I've got a good number of friends who are not entrepreneurs like me who run their own businesses. They are people who simply have an online job. And they think that grants them more flexibility. They can go on holiday and keep working. They can work from wherever they like, work in bed, and get the same results. Because in reality, you don't necessarily need to go into an office to do some administrative work on a laptop. Common sense. Is this a bad thing or a good thing though? Because here's the thing. Naturally, as time passes us by, we can't understand things that we haven't necessarily always experienced. So, it might be hard for us to understand the world of our parents working long hours with the ability to prosper from that. When house prices were maybe 3-4 times what wages were, not 40 times, we can't understand that world, right? However, the inverse is true. I think that's why a lot of older people think a lot of younger people are lazy, because they cannot understand the time where house prices are 40 times wages, or where the minimum wage is not enough to do this and that, right? All these different things. So I think that's where the misguidance comes from. I think both people are right and wrong, because we're both right and we're both wrong. What worked in the 1970s worked. It did work. So if you're from that era, I completely understand why people think the best option is to get a 9 to 5 and grind it out for 40 years and get a property in the hopes it'll go up another 500% or more like it did for you guys, right? That makes sense. However, for younger people, they may think, well, this is just untrue. You know, the amount that I will have to work to have this property, and also when I can live in a world where, you know, I can get a job online and live on a beach in Thailand. A lot of these people think, well, why wouldn't we? Young people are undeniably changing the world of work forever. It seems that they demand more from their employers, but then again, they are compensated less comparative to what they can actually buy. These are the people who live in the age of the internet, right? They have the potential to make more online than their parents ever could in a job. They have the potential to make money online in the comfort of bed, in a hotel room halfway across the world, in a coffee shop. A lot of people want a different way of working to what their parents had. Now, is this wrong? Arguably it is, because arguably a lot of people are lazy. But then again, I think when you give people something to work towards, they will start working harder. If people, whether it's true or not, there is a market right now where people believe that they can't ever afford a house, right? And I know a lot of people say, well, if you work 100 hours a week, then you can. That's not something to work towards. That sounds like living hell, right? And a lot of people say, well, you don't need to work that hard. It's not my problem. I don't really want to buy a house. I've explained why in videos months ago. I want location flexibility at this age. I want to have the ability to go where the money is and where the opportunities are. So I'm not making a personal argument for myself. But when you have a generation of people who think that there's no opportunity to build a decent life, invest, when they're getting priced out of asset classes increasingly quickly, of course they don't want to work as hard, because they feel like, whether it's true or not, this is just what I'm taking away from speaking to a lot of young people my age, they feel like their work is not rewarded, or not rewarded as much as it should be. And that very much creates an environment where people do not want to carry on, because they're like, okay, well, what's the benefit? What is the benefit of doing it? So what am I trying to say here? This is a video focused on two topics. Number one, young people's attitude to the workplace and the workforce. And that is the fact that a lot of young people have grown up in a world where they think they can't afford anything. They've grown up in a world where they've seen their parents working for a long, long time. And even then, they're seeing diminishing returns. People across the board, young, rich, old, whatever, they are seeing themselves with less money to spend at the end of every month due to inflation. They're seeing asset prices being raised astronomically. And they think, okay, well, if I'm going to waste all of my life, I want to have the ability to actually buy into some of this market. And for the older people who judge them for it, they are right. They're correct. It is a lot of effort to work 40 hours a week, and if you do it, you can still get ahead. 50, 60, even more so. Do you get the same results, though, as what you would have years ago? You know, the concept of having to live at home for 3, 4, 5 years to save up money for a deposit, to then get trapped in a house payment for 30 years at £700, £800, £900 a month, and God forbid, rates hike. A lot of people don't want that. And subsequently, we're seeing new working styles emerge. We're seeing a lot of people going online to make money, a lot of people being entrepreneurs, because there's that push in the sense when you are not seeing the results from a certain path, you kind of change it, you know. And I think it's probably a good thing in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, it's a bad thing. But you know what? The laziness of a lot of people in this generation, the lack of work ethic, the lack of drive, it makes it easier for certain people to shine out, right? Because if your colleagues are all lazy, if your co-workers are all lazy, if the people who you competed against are lazy, and you're not, it now requires less effort to do more. I've made this argument numerous times in the past. Look at things like the internet. I could in theory make more money from making these videos than most people can in a job, in theory. So It's an age of opportunity. A lot of people are realising that, and a lot of people aren't. The people who are not realising that, I think, are lazy because they still need to follow a traditional path. If you've got nothing better to say, then, oh, the 9 to 5 sucks. Where's your business then? Where's your online job? If you don't have it and if you're not looking for it, then I don't want to hear about all of the laziness regarding the 9 to 5 because you are not searching for an alternative path. But a lot of people are. And I think that's why attitudes towards work appear to be changing. Goodbye.